Hello there, Cherries fans. On New Year's Day, AFC Bournemouth are travelling to the London Stadium to play West Ham United, and it's one of those games that feels like a six-pointer already. As you can see, Jeff Hayward is here with me, and Jeff, going into this game, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling?
I've got pretty low expectations because the performance against Brighton was so abject that if we turn up and play like that again, we're going to get beaten. They're going to have a new manager, the one that I always refer to as Pellegrino, and in fact he's Pellegrini, not the mineral water. Yeah. We'll have a replacement, possibly watching from the stands, but that will probably almost certainly be David Moyes. Yeah. And that will probably give a fillip to the players. Certainly give a boost to the fans. I think they'll be more supportive, and we know the London Stadium can be a library in its own right. So yeah, they're going to be motivated for this game. They're on a bad run. This is a relegation six-pointer. They'll look at this as a decisive game that they have to win. And frankly, every game where that's happened this season, it's felt like we've been lambs to the slaughter and will happily oblige, because we just don't turn up, and that's what I'm really worried about.
So which players would you feel should be starting, and which players would you maybe give a break to?
I would give a break to Stacey, because I don't think he can walk. Yeah. So let's not have him. I'm hoping Funnell is back at right back. I think Adam Smith's probably still a bit of a distance away, so it's a back four with Funnell at right back. And same centre half pairing, same left back Rico. Midfield, this is where it's got to change. You've got to bring back Lerma. We know that. So 100%. He's going to absolutely play. I would like to see Gosling and Lewis Cook in the middle, and possibly Ryan Fraser on the left and Junior Stanislas on the right. Maybe Harry Wilson coming off the bench. And I'd like to see... I wouldn't like to see any of our forwards playing centre forward in Josh King's absence, but I think it's probably going to be Callum who gets the start, because he normally scores against West Ham. So let's try that. 5 in midfield, because we know they're going to be motivated to come on to us. So we could be successful hitting them on the break, pretty much like we did against Chelsea. And let's pack that midfield, because that's where we were weak against Brighton. And let's give it to them.
I just wonder if, as I said on the podcast, if you've heard the podcast, you can download it or you can watch on YouTube. I said something along the lines of the psychology, and is it a psychological thing about when you're playing the kind of lesser teams? And I just wonder if the pressure is off sometimes when you're playing the larger sides. Now, of course, West Ham in their league position on particularly big side, but they've got a big stadium. They fill it out with their season ticket holders, and in some ways, you know, given our poor form, there is no expectation at all from AFC Bournemouth fans, and I don't know, maybe even some of the players at times. You start to think that. So, can you give us a crumb of comfort, Jeff, just to close? Why should we maybe look forward to this rather than look upon it as being another game?
Because we totally wrote off the team before the Chelsea match, and we played brilliantly. So yeah. I think that this game is equally, you know, we're on a hiding to nothing. We'll turn up there thinking that we're going to get rolled over 3 or 4-0, and the players will be out to prove us wrong and prove everybody wrong. And with that attitude, they might get a result.
Yeah, well, Jeff, thanks once again for being on the podcast preview.
Thank you.
And right, well, we'll take you through. I'll go through the team that I think is going to be starting for the West Ham game. So I'm hoping it's going to be something like this. So I've got a feeling he's going to go 4-4-2 for this one. You could have the 3 in the middle, but I think it'll be 4-4-2. And
we know the back five. Stacey's probably the only doubt, and if he's out, Funnell I think will probably come back in. So the defence pretty much as is, apart from the right back. Now, Cook and Lerma start from the bench at Brighton. Lerma will definitely be back in, and I think Lewis Cook probably there too. Fraser came off the bench, of course. Harry Wilson played 60 minutes, but likely to start again. And I think we'll go with King and Callum up front. We know what Callum can do against West Ham United, of course. There is another option, playing three centre midfields in the middle, like we sort of looked like we were going to do against Arsenal. But do you remember Andrew Sermon? He would be a better option than even bringing Philip Billing in. But I think Philip Billing looked very tired in that game against Brighton. Didn't particularly look great. And Sermon's that kind of almost like a CDM sort of anchor at the back that could maybe give Lewis Cook a little bit more licence, especially with Lerma there. But whether he'll do that, not too sure. Sermon hasn't exactly got the minutes, so that's why I'm perhaps thinking he will go 4-4-2 with Harry Wilson on that right-hand side. Fraser on the left. Hope he's had some joy at the London Stadium before, so that's what I'm thinking he'll do. The only doubt in that really is Simon Francis, but yeah, Callum Wilson, of course. Well, he needs to score and needs to score soon. The pressure's going to be on him, but he always performs against West Ham, doesn't he? So fingers crossed. Now I'm predicting, ironically, that Bournemouth are going to win this. Hoping that we really do. I bet you're interested to see what Tony Funnell's got to say, though, don't you? Yeah, so rather than put it in a separate video, we're going to include Tony's prediction of this week's Premier League games, including the big one at West Ham United.
Hi everyone, Tony Funnell here, back in England with the Funnell Forecast. What's happened in the last few matches? Well, not too bad. I think I got a 7 and a 6 out of 10, so I'm quite happy about that. Going into the fixtures for Wednesday the 1st of January. First game up is Brighton versus Chelsea. And I'm going to go an away win for Chelsea, followed by a win for Burnley at home to Aston Villa. And then an away win for Leicester at Newcastle. Then we've got Southampton to beat Spurs. And then Watford and Wolves, I think that's going to be a draw. Manchester City versus Everton, I've got to go for Man City win. And then a Norwich win versus Crystal Palace. Followed by another draw, West Ham versus Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will get a draw at West Ham. David Moyes, new manager, but still Bournemouth to get a draw. Arsenal to win away at... No, everybody. Man United to win away at Arsenal. I don't want to pick Arsenal. Man United to beat Arsenal. And then on the Thursday fixture, I've got Liverpool to beat Sheffield United. Happy New Year, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.